And your time starts now. David Bruce, very nice to meet you, sir. How you doing?
Hello.
Good to meet you, sir.
Nice. It is a pleasure to finally meet you, actually. Did you find any of the sort of stuff I was telling you about, I guess, loosely speaking, the sort of enlightenment topic, any of it actionable?
Oh, I've not taken action on much of anything. I'm a lazy searcher.
No, so you're still seeking.
Yeah.
Well, where would you say you are in your quest?
Mm. Well, I tell you, I'm kind of letting my gut and God guide me, if you will.
Yeah, right on. I mean, well, you've probably heard me say in that conversation with Dragon Sage, you got to hand yourself back over, by my estimation. That's the real way to do it. There is no free will. You ask to be guided, yeah, and you can find
Yeah,
everything you need.
yeah. I just pray about it.
Right on. Yeah, well, my praying is like that, I guess. I don't ask for things. Although, every now and again, please give me a free ticket to Amsterdam. But, or please make it so that Bill Gates' new monkeypox doesn't stop me and Wagon from being able to see each other as well. That's another
Amen.
prayer. But, what do you think of the graphic, dude? You're the first person to try out the beach graphic.
Oh, I love it. It's great.
It's a nice vibe, isn't it? It does feel like you're enjoying the beach on a sunny day.
It
Yeah.
does.
So what do you want to get into, brother? We can talk about anything you want to.
Oh, heck. Well, let's see. You know, I think that I've been listening to this fellow Matt at oh shoot, is it shaking? Not shaking my head. Production. Anyway,
I think I've heard something like that, though. Yeah, I have heard of something like that. Shaking My Head production.
right. Anyway,
Hmm.
he's. I very much agree with his view of what's going on in this quote unquote reality.
In this, what did you say then? Program called Reality? Did you say?
Quote unquote reality.
Right. Well, quote unquote reality. Sure, man. Yeah. Well, what is his general take? Lay it out.
Um, Sort of that reality is breaking down and resetting all the time.
Okay.
And
How is that distinct from specifically what I lay out, which is, well, it's a simulation of sorts, as far as I can tell.
well, yeah.
In the sense that, as far as I can figure out, consciousness is primordial. It's like first, and mind seems to have generated from consciousness, and we are experiencing a sort of simulated reality of an appearing, three-dimensional space essentially. But it's only theoretical at its root. It's without the apprehension by mind, there is no appearing reality. Therefore, it doesn't really exist in the truest sense, and all there is consciousness itself. But is that particularly distinct to what he's talking about, or is he talking about something to do with society more, or something?
Well, a bit more. That
Okay.
there are entities that we interact with that are not the same as you and I.
Okay.
Um, their program, what they're running in their minds, whatever, is not the same as what is driving you and I.
And what are we talking about there? These sort of archons or something? I'm just guessing, but are we talking sort of like a ruling class that are outside of this particular dimension that influence reality? Is this the sort of thing we're talking about?
Ah,
Demons, angels?
yeah, those are touched on
Okay.
in conversation, sure, but he refers to the not milk reality.
Say that again for me, brother. The not nelk.
Not milk. Yeah, it's a word that he's derived to describe the the underlying force or entity that is working against our uh, achieving something else.
And what's his conception of where these beings abide primarily?
Hmm.
Like, are they within this third dimension, or are they supposedly outside of it? And how did he arrive at this sort of theory?
Well, uh, he's just been observing reality and recognizing things that just don't make fucking sense.
Well, I suppose I'd sort of push back and suggest that, let's put it this way: as far as I can tell, the idea of trying to explain certain happenings on or blaming entities for that sort of stuff, as far as I can tell, entities are themselves an illusion, a sort of a compilation of various sort of features, persuasions,
Well,
personality drivers. It's
I,
really nothing more than a sort of automaton, whether it's three-dimensional or entirely spiritual being.
well,
So,
I would define myself as an entity.
well, even at your core, at your truest self as an entity.
I would think so. I exist in, I believe, therefore, I am an entity, am I not?
Well, as far as I can tell, the sort of thought that that affirms to you that notion that you just laid out is a happening that occurs entirely in mind. And if you remove the mind, let's put it this way: what is the observer of mind, brother? Because if you don't start there, you're already out in the weeds, coming up with entities and other explanations. I'd suggest that. Look, you can disagree with me, and everyone could believe what they want, but I'd suggest that that guy probably needs to come back to something more quintessential, which is what is the observer of mind. Because when you realize consciousness itself is the observer of mind and its contents, and without that there is no apparition or appearing entity, right? Then you'll never come back to your core, your true essence. You'll be busy chasing demons and fairies, in a sense, if you see what I mean, trying to explain how reality is being conjured, whereas
See,
really it's just.
I'm having difficulty comprehending your your take,
Well, I'll
the
just say to
whole
well,
mind thing.
okay, I'll just say that, if you say if you ask yourself, what am I quintessentially? What am I? What is the I? Is there anything essential about it? Am I the mind? If you ask yourself, are you the mind? Or let's say, put it this way: if you ask yourself, are you thought? Are you your thoughts? You realize, no, you're not your thoughts, because thoughts appear to you.
You're the
And so you ask,
observer.
so you're the observer of mind and its contents. And if you meditate for long enough and ask yourself, where am I and what am I, quintessentially, you realize you are not only not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the
Quintessentially,
thoughts. Say again?
quintessentially is five times what?
What
The
you?
5 times
you
essential.
five times essential.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, in essence, is what I'm saying. In essence, what am I? Ask yourself that question. You realize you're not the mind. The mind is like a functioning tool that you have access to that allows reality, this supposed reality, to appear at all. But primarily, you are before mind. And if you ask yourself what you are as the observer of mind, you will realize you are formless. Since a form appears to you, you have none. You are essentially something like consciousness itself. You don't have a body, therefore you cannot die. You don't have problems, therefore you are eternally blissful. And you'll suddenly start to realize some profound truths about what you really are that should make you very, very happy. And if you ground in those truths, you'll be coming back into your own divinity. That's what I put to you, brother. Any final words? We're about to die. I love you. What do you want to say before you die?
No, just keep searching for the answer, man. All I
Right
can
on.
say.
we'll come back, all right, David?
Let's do it
It's really
together.
nice to talk to you, and we'll keep getting there together. Absolutely, brother. Take it easy.
Yeah, good.
David Bruce, everyone. That was awesome. That worked.
Awesome.
Well, we could get into that sort of stuff forever, man. But yeah, it is sort of tricky.